I had a great summation all worked out, full of sharp lawyering, but I'm not going to read it. I'm here to apologize. I am young and I'm inexperienced, but you cannot hold Carly Haley responsible for my shortcomings. You see, through all this legal maneuvering, something's gotten lost, and that something is the truth. Now, it is incumbent upon us lawyers not only to talk about the truth, but to seek it, to find it, and to live it. My teacher taught me that. Now let's take Dr. Bass for example. Now, I would never knowingly put a convicted felon on the stand. I hope you can believe that. But what if I told you that the woman he was accused of raping was 17? He was 22. That later, she became his wife, bore his child, and is still married to the man today. Now, does that make his testimony any more or less true? What is it in us that seeks the truth? Is it our minds? Or is it our hearts? Now, I set out to prove that a black man could receive a fair trial in the South, that we are all equal under the eyes of the law. But that's not true, because the eyes of the law are human eyes, yours and mine. And until we can see each other as equals, justice is never going to be even-handed. It will remain nothing more than a reflection of our own prejudices. So, until that day, it is our duty under God to seek the truth. Not with our minds, not with our eyes, not by hate or fear or commonality or prejudices, but with our hearts. Now, I want to tell y'all a story. I'm going to ask y'all to close your eyes while I tell you this story. I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen to yourselves. Go ahead. Close your eyes, please. This is a story about a little girl coming home from the grocery store one sunny afternoon. Can you see her? I want you to picture that little girl. Suddenly a truck races up. Two men jump out and grab her. They take her to a nearby field. They tie her up. They begin to rip the clothes off her back. Then they climb on. First one, then the other, raping her with each vicious thrust, with a fog of drunken breath and sweat. And when they're done, when they've killed her tiny wound, murdered any chance for her to ever bear children, have a life beyond her own. They sat and used her as target practice. They would throw full cans of beer at her. They'd throw them so hard that they tear their flesh straight down to her bones. Then they urinate on her. Now comes the hanging. They grab a rope. They tie a noose. I want you to picture that little girl's neck as the rope gets tighter and tighter. And in a sudden blinding jerk, she gets lifted off into the air, her feet kicking. They can't find the ground. But the hanging branch isn't strong enough. It snaps, and she falls back down to the earth. The two men grab her, throw her in the back of their pickup, and head for Foggy Creek Bridge. They pitch her over. She falls some 50 feet to the creek bottom below. Can you see her? Raped, beaten, broken body, soaked in their urine, soaked in their semen, soaked in her own blood left to die. Can you see her? I want you to picture that little girl. Now imagine she's white. The defense rests, Your Honor.